is RPM. A few weeks ago, we reported on Chad Reed's brilliant win in the AMA Supercross Series, his second world title. And as we welcome Darryl Beattie back, I guess the obvious question is, what's the reaction been like in the domestic Supercross and Motocross Series?
Well, we both know how awesome it was with Casey Stoner with MotoGP, and I think also with the dirt scene, Chad's somewhere where all the youngsters want to be, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's our great pleasure now to welcome Chad Reed back to RPM. G'day, mate. It's great to have you back in Australia. Huge time for you. Does the second title feel any different to the first?
I mean, I think the first one's always the sweetest, but I think this one had a lot of emotional attachment to it, I think, and it just felt really special. You know, when I go through and look at every picture from that night and kind of reminisce the feelings, it was a really special one. It felt really good from in to out.
Chad, I guess we all know how serious the shoulder injury was, but at some stage initially when you had that injury, did you think it was all over?
Yes and no. I mean, when I jumped in that ambulance and the sirens come on and I started heading to the hospital, it was going through my mind. I was like, man, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. I mean, I think it's every racer's nightmare to be in that position. At that point, I had a 27-point lead and was comfortably winning races, and you know, and was just feeling good and on top of my game. And boom, it just took me right back down to, you know, definitely level you out and bring you back to reality. So 4 hours in the hospital, and I came out and tried to salvage a tough weekend. Overcoming
that injury and then winning the title made some big headlines, and no sooner had you wrapped the title up and there were more headlines because you've parted company with L&M Racing. Just tell us why. What's happened there?
I mean, it's difficult to comment on and difficult to, you know, put it into perspective, but I think it was just, you know, two people that had different, you know, plans of attack to get to the ultimate goals, which is to win again and to win a championship. You know, for me, I'm transitioning into, you know, promoting Supercross in Australia, and wanting to spend more time here, potentially, you know, stepping on into four wheels, and maybe not spending as much time as I have, you know, previously in the US. And you know, I think just that made people nervous, and maybe there was some question on my desire to race in the US and still to win races and championships. So you know, that's silly on their part. Don't ever question my determination and my will to win. You know, I will be back, and I can't wait. You know, I'm excited for a change, and just, you know, whatever the future holds for me.
Does that pretty much mean Yamaha as a manufacturer wanted more than just Supercross? You know, can you say yet where you're going to go for next year, and are you wound up that Bubba will replace you?
Right now, it's you know, the Yamaha thing was something that was very difficult for me. I'd been there for a long time. They'd been very good to me. We had gone through a lot of good parts of the relationship and a lot of ups and downs, as any relationship. So you know, at this point, it's looking, you know, very much likely that I will be moving on from Yamaha. You know, but I'm happy to be leaving on great terms. You know, they supported me all the way until, you know, the last second, and even when the L&M thing was announced that they weren't going to go the direction of Chad Reed Racing, Yamaha was very supportive and tried everything in their power to you know, to keep me on the Yamaha. So it's looking like we're going to part ways, but you know, I can say and feel good about our relationship and feel confident, and you know, I gave it everything they had and everything I had, and so did they.
You said earlier about the fact that, you know, you were here for the launch of the Australian SuperCross Series earlier in the week in Sydney. Some great pictures from there. You're getting right behind the domestic scene. Just tell us a bit more about that. What sort of innovations can we expect, and can you lure some of your American colleagues down under to have a crack at it?
I sure hope so. I think everybody wants to come to this country. Everybody wants to, you know, they're all curious. They want to see what it's about. You know, everybody hears so much about it. So you know, firstly is getting the series up and running and started, and that is what is key right now. Yesterday, to be in that room and to be going through that launch was amazing feeling for me. It was a whole different feeling than ever winning a race. You know, as I was standing, you know, amongst my peers, which is, you know, something that I've never done before, and presenting something that was really neat and cool, something that I had been working on, you know, personally for the last 2 years. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, the goal at hand is to bring better tracks and better series, you know, and bring the competition up and make Australians better riders, and try to make that stepping stone from here to the US much smaller than it currently is, and you know, see what we can do and see where it goes.
It already seems like, you know, in your voice and talking to us today, you know, there's been promoters before you, but it sounds like just from your deal and what's happening in the US, your commitment's leaning more this way anyway, so you're really focused on this championship.
Yeah, I really am. Like, I think it's something that means a lot to me, you know. I'm a person that you know, when I feel something and I feel it's right and I want to do that direction, maybe I'm a little stubborn, but I just want to go that direction, you know. I know what it takes to win races in the US and win championships in the US, and this Australian thing is never ever going to stand in the way of that. You know, America will always be priority for my career, you know, because from a kid, that's what I always wanted to do, and that's what, you know, that's my job right now. And the Australian thing is just a different feeling. You know, giving back to your sport and to your country is just an amazing feeling, and you know, I got everything that I asked for, pretty much, out of all the guys that, you know, Mike Porer and his team. So, you know, I think we've got a good package, and now it's up to those guys to put butts in seats.
Hey, thanks for stopping by to RPM once again. It sounds like the search for the next Chad Reed is well and truly on in our domestic ranks. Chad Reed joining us, and of course our own Daryl Beattie, who will be back later in the show to talk MotoGP. A reminder too, you can catch all the action from the Australian Supercross Series right here on 10. After the break, a whole lot more here on RPM.